Hello from the beanbag and welcome to another daily encouragement with Naomi. Yes, for those of you who are observant, and can tell that I'm sitting a lot closer to these and I'm a lot higher in the window than I usually am. I am still filming this from the beanbag, but that may need to change. You see, bought a desk, finally found one that's the perfect size for the space that I have. So currently my beanbag is sitting on the window seat that I have in my room, obviously under this window. And it's not really going to work though to film from my desk and my beanbag. So I am looking at some chairs though. So it may be that it becomes hollow from the purple chair or something like that, because I've got my eye on a purple one. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I just wanted to explain that. Anyway, welcome to today's video. And in today's video, we are going to talk about where you'd rather be. So stay tuned to see what that means. Right, let's do this. So as I was kind of just thinking about what today's video is about, and I was talking to God about it, I had this song just running around in my head that is on my daily playlist that I listen to every day, but I don't think I listened to it today yet. And so it had just popped into my head and I was just kind of singing it in my head. And the song was called In Your Arms of Love. And today I just want to talk about that, because when I kind of said to God, now what's today's video about, and he spoke to my heart, I do believe, and he said, where would you rather be? Would you rather be running around doing lots of things, being busy, doing things that you think are important, and I'm even talking about things for him, and things he's potentially asked you to do. So I'm not talking about unnecessary mundane things that don't matter. I'm talking about just in life in general, running around being busy. Or would you rather be sitting in his arms of love and sitting in his presence? And I think that is a challenge for us all for this year, going into this new year. Where would you rather be? Would you rather be constantly doing and constantly, it's tickling my head, and constantly on the go? Or would you rather be sitting on Jesus' knee, wrapped in his arms of love? Now, I know, totally understand that in life there are things that need to happen. Obviously need to go to work. If we have children, we need to look after them, or there may be other people we look after. If you're married, look after your husband or your wife. And yeah, I get that, and God gets that too. But when you strip it all back and go, what is actually important and what is actually needed to be done in that moment, when you just stop to reflect on that and just kind of stop and pause and go, where would I rather be? I pray that our answer is in his arms of love, in his presence, in the river of God that gives life and gives joy and peace. Now, that's where I would rather be. I'm not particularly good at sitting in his presence and just hanging out with him. It's definitely something that I desire to learn more to do this year, and my aim in life is to be someone who, would rather be found just hanging out in the presence of God than running around continuously busy, that there is no time and space for God to, communicate with me and connect with me and hang out with me. My challenge and my encouragement to you today is, where would you rather be? And it doesn't even have to be hour-long sessions of sitting in his presence. It can just be a few minutes here, a few minutes there, a few minutes, as you learn the discipline and art of sitting in his presence and just being in his presence. And as you, I think, learn that, I think that desire grows to spend more time with him in his presence. And you, as that desire grows and as you learn the art of it, I think you make room in your life so that can happen over a longer period of time. You can sit in his presence for an hour and there be nothing that needs to be done, nothing that's urgent, nothing that requires your attention for that time. So I encourage you to start with little chunks, and just as you discipline yourself and as you learn how to do it, I think time and space will come available where you can just do it more and more. If that is your desire, and if that is where you would rather be this year, is in his presence, I encourage you to just start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and build it up, and try and do it as often as possible. Don't go in with an agenda or a shopping list. Just come to Jesus and sit on his knee and be wrapped in his arms of love, and let him speak to your heart as you tell him how much you love and adore him, and let him tell you how much he loves and adores you, because he does. He absolutely does. And he is not shy in telling you that. And he wants to tell you that. He loves to tell you that, how much he loves you and adores you and thinks so much of you, and You know, because He's a good, good Father, and He is a loving Father who just wants to shower His love upon His children. And one way that, you know, we can be in a place to receive that is sitting in His presence, waiting on Him, and sitting in His arms of love. And, you know, the lines of that song, the lyrics of that song, sorry, there's no place I'd rather be than in your arms of love. And I want to learn more this year about how to just sit with Him and just be in His arms of love. Because there's no place I'd rather be. Because in those arms of love is protection, is safety, is love, is care, is acceptance. There is so much that is just available when we sit with Jesus in His arms of love, because He's our protection. And to me, that's what His arms of love speak of, is protection. You know, in His arms of love is our hiding place. And I think that as we walk into this year, those things are going to become very important as we walk through some interesting and difficult and at times overwhelming things. We're going to need to know that we can come and sit with Jesus and be wrapped in His wraparound arms of love, in His protection, in His care, in His peace, and His comfort. I think that's going to be very important this year, because I think for some people there are going to be some really difficult things that happen in their life over this year, and instead of, I think, running from God, I think the best solution and the best answer is to run to Him and just sit with Him in those arms of love, and just know that you are cared for and you are protected and you are safe in those arms of love. So yeah, that is my encouragement and my challenge to this day, as we kind of, you know, just walk into this year in the confidence of God. And if you struggle with just sitting in silence, like I do, chuck on some worship music that really makes your heart sing, and just sit with God in that, because God can still talk to you through that. Just sit and worship Him. Just sit and adore Him. Sit and tell Him how much you love Him and how thankful you are for all that He has done in your life and all that He's going to do this year. In faith, thank Him for what He's going to do this year in your life. Because, you know, as I've said before, He's such a good, good Father who has such good gifts for His children, that He just wants to communicate with you. He wants to just love you passionately. And I just encourage you to open up your heart and let Him in, so that He can passionately love you. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day and weekend, and we'll see you next time. Love you all. Bye.